Today, the topic of the discussion and the lecture of the Professor Dr. Manoj Kumar will be transportation services. This topic is in the syllabus of the global logistics and the warehouse management. And this transportation service is very important for the development of the economy. What type of the different transportation services are there? We will study here in this topic. Here, the concept of the transportation is given, mode of the transportation is given, road transport is given, pipeline transport is given, rail transport is given, air transport is given, sea transport is given, multimodal transport is given, factors influencing the transportation is given, documents used in the transportation is given, summary is given, keywords are given, case study of given, exercise is given, and the answer is given, suggested books and the reading of the transportation service is given. All the things are given in this chapter, and the learning outcomes are the explaining the meaning of the transportation and its concept, outline various modes of the transportation, explain the factors which influence the and affect transportation, describe the important documents which are used in the transportation. Under logistics operation, transportation means delivering products to the customer on time, in the right quantity, in the good condition, at the right price. It is the transportation system of a country that forms the base and plays an important role in the progress of country's economic, social, and commercial growth. It has brought together all the different countries of the world and has created an organization in itself. The overall cost of a product also includes the cost of the transportation, and there is a great level of the planning which is required to control transportation cost. It is the most significant part of a supply chain and has scope with the immense opportunity. The role of the transport is moving goods and people from one place to the another. It is one of the most important factors for promoting a country's growth in trade and commerce. Not only does it promote growth, but it also helps the country in achieving its social and economic goals. Social and economic goals can be achieved with the help of the transportation. The economy of the country will be enlarged by the help of the transportation. With the changing business dynamics, there is a change in the modes of the transportation as well, depending upon the change in the needs and the requirements of the people. There are various technology which are being used in order to improve the transportation of a country. It is moving in tandem with the changes in science and technology. There are various equipment used in transportation of the goods from one place to another. The equipment is both simple as well as sophisticated. Use of the sophisticated equipment depends upon the level of country's economic condition as well as the level of the growth. The farming techniques and manufacturing activity have also changed, and so have the modes of the transportation. This development was required in order to efficiently and safely move the goods. In the ancient world, goods were transferred from one place to another with the help of the animal such as the horses, donkeys, bullock carts, etc. These techniques consumed a lot of the time for the goods to reach the destined place. Also, the capacity of these modes were not much. The histories of the Greek, Persian, Mohenjo-daro empires have witnessed these modes of the transportation. With the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, transportation experienced huge changes. There was a need to make a travel and movement of the goods and the people easier. This led to the development of the four major modes of the transportation: road, rail, water, and air. Before independence, there were only two modes of the transportation which used in our country. They were roads and the railways. Ports and cities were built as a strategic imperative for the government. Post-independence, the development in the railways and road transport became the main focus of the government in order to develop the economy of India. Gradually, sea and air transport also developed. Transportation in logistic system comprises of the two major activities: movement of the goods from one place to another, and in transit storage to those goods. The mode of the transportation which is used also depends upon the ability of the infrastructure of that particular region. The principle which guides in choosing a mode of the transport is the cost per unit weight volume of a product. The per unit cost of a product used over a unit distance should be the least. In this chapter, you will study the concept of the transportation as it is a cardinal aspect of the product delivery. The chapter will also give insight into various modes of the transportation such as a road, pipeline, rail, air, sea, and multimodal transport. Further, the chapter will also discuss the various factors affecting transportation and the documents used in the transportation. Concept of the transportation: the movement of the people, goods, and animals from one place to another is the basic concept of the transport or transportation. It helps in enabling trade between the people and organization in order to develop a nation. The various components of the transportation are the infrastructure. They are very fixed infrastructure which enhance the different modes of the transportation. These infrastructure includes road, terminal facility, bus stand, railway and railway station, airways and airport, waterways and the seaport, pipelines and canals, warehouses, land used for parking and maintenance, etc. There is a need of the fixed installation of the infrastructures in order to move goods via roads, railway, and pipelines. However, this installation can be avoided when using sea and air as modes of the transport. There is a need for construction of ports in these cases. In order to build and maintain such installation and infrastructure, there is a need for the financing. Transportation service can get financial help from either public sectors or the private sector. We all know that the transportation is the basic need of the people, and in most of the country, the construction of the infrastructure is funded with the taxes paid by the citizen of the country. In cases of the advanced infrastructure, there is a need for huge investment. To cover the cost of the investment, there are fees imposed by the infrastructure owners for usage, landing, and toll on the roads. Vehicles: there is a need for vehicles in order to move the goods and people. Infrastructure are fit, but vehicles are tangible and moving devices which carry both people and commodity from one place to another. In most of the cases, vehicles are required to be driven by the individual. However, in the modern construct, we have self-driven vehicles which are fully automated and are able to move goods from one location to another. Operation: transportation is operated by both public and private individuals. In case of the private transport, there are owners of the vehicle who are solely responsible for the movements of the good from the one place to another, and who carry out all the related activity which forms a part of the transportation. In case of the public transport, government is involved in the operation of the transportation. Since privatization yield better service, most of the transportation operations are taken up by the private sector. This is leading to high rate of the competition among the industry. Policy: in order to maintain order and discipline in the transportation system, there are several policies that have been instituted by the government. This has been done keeping in view the rapidly increasing rate of the population in the country. The self-assessment questions are given. The role of the transport is moving goods and people from one place to another. This is true or the false? Fixed enhances the different modes of the transportation. Modes of the transportation. As already explained, there are different modes of the transportation prevalent in the country. The movement of the goods from one place to another has become substantially easy with so many options available. Be it the movement of the goods within a country or outside, almost everything can be transported. Different modes of the demand different forms of the infrastructure and technology. For transportation by road, there is a need for the well-constructed and well-built roads, highways, bridges, etc., which forms a link between the two different locations. Bridges should be built in such a way that they are able to bear the weight of the moving trucks which are carrying goods in them. For transport by the railway, very good connectivity between places is required in regard to distances. The distance should not be much and the time taken for goods to be delivered should be the least. For transport by sea, a large number of the ports should be located near the major city for goods to reach the right place at the right time. For transport by air, advanced aeroplanes that can carry a large amount and volume goods must be used. Road transport, the most preferred mode of the transport which have a great help to the industrial and agriculture sector of the country is the road transport. It is the most suitable mode for the moving goods from one place to the another. Where the distance is very short and where other modes are unable to reach or just not available. The most important benefit of this kind of the transport is that it delivers goods at the doorstep of the customer, which other means of the transport lack. With the use of the road transport, rural life gets easily connected with the urban life and vice versa. It provides such infrastructure which allows agriculture goods and products from the rural area to reach people of the urban area. In the same way, industrial products from the urban area reach people of the rural area. The connectivity ensures balance in the lifestyle of the people in the different areas. There has been a substantial growth in the industrial as well as in the agricultural products because the transport by road has provided facility which helps the manufactured products to reach the right people at the right time. The products are easily available in places of the actual consumption with the help of the transport by the road. Amongst all other means of the transport, road transport has gained much importance and value because of the following advantage which it provides. Door-to-door service, flexibility, reliability, reaching remote places, and the speed. These are the advantages of the road transport. Pipeline transport. Samuel Van Cycle in the year 1870 was the first person to develop pipeline transport. Pipeline transport was first used to transport petroleum from one place to another. With time and other developments in place 20 years later, the Standard Oil Company brought about a huge and evident change in the pipeline mode of the transport. Apart from petroleum, which was the first thing to be transported by the pipeline, other things such as the fines of the iron ore, different natural gases, coal, incendiary from form and other such chemicals became parts of the products which were transported through the pipelines. Pipeline mode demands huge investment, but still the operational cost of the moving products from the one place to another is reduced. In India, most of the public and private petroleum refineries use the pipeline mode to transport oil from one place to another. One of the best examples of the transport of iron ore fine in its early form is the Kundaramukh iron ore project, which uses pipeline mode of the transport to deliver iron ore fines over a distance of around 67 kilometers by the Western Ghats. As compared to the other mode of the transport, pipelines are the best eco-friendly mode of, and also the cost of this mode of transport has been downward trend, whereas the other modes have been an increase in their cost with time. For moving a ton of oil over a distance of 1 kilometer, the cost incurred by a new pipeline is the INR 1.15. If in place of the new pipeline, a depreciated pipeline is used, the cost incurred comes down INR 0.87. Very low cost by the pipeline. Now, if we compare this cost with that of the road transport carrying moving oil, we see that the cost is INR 2.50 per ton per kilometer, and that by railway is INR 2.0. So we can clearly say that the pipelines are costly. No matter how the initial investment is huge, but in regard to the reduced operational cost, the overall investment is minimal. Next one is the rail transport. The primary mode of the transport which facilitates the movement of the people and goods from one place to another are railways. It forms an important part in boosting the trade and commerce of a country and has helped a lot in the industrialization of the nation. When it comes to the transporting the most important commodity from place to another, railway is the first option because it is widely connected with the different states of the country in regard to its length and breadth. In the beginning of industrialization, countries were highly dependent on the railways because it was the basic mode of moving raw material as well as finished goods from one place to another. If we talk about dependability on modes of the transport, we can always rely on the railways as it is the most reliable and the safest mode of the transport. Trains help in carrying goods and people from one place to another in a short period of the time. Also, they are least affected during the weather changes, though it does not get affected, but the damage to products is still less as compared to other modes. Railways are an organized mode of the transport. Trains have specific and pre-decided routes and hauls. Also, the time for goods to reach their destination is also fixed. So the customers know when they will be expecting their goods. Railways forms an integral part of the economic progress of the country because it mobilizes people as well as the goods. However, railways also have certain constraints. The biggest drawback is the cost. Railways demand heavy investment and the cost incurred in the transportation is also very high. Establishing a network of the railway as a transport system is not enough. The maintenance is also important, which involves higher cost. Moreover, since railways cannot provide door-to-door service, the additional cost is incurred in loading and unloading of the products in order to deliver goods at the doorstep by means of the road transport. Continuous loading and the unloading causes wear and tear of the goods in the many cases. Air transport, transportation by air is the biggest and the most expensive mode of the transport. Hence, it is the only used to move goods which are highly perishable and value of which is very high. The movement of the goods from one place to another via air is not affected by the barrier. It is an unbreakable journey over both land and sea, bearing the mountains and the forest. The mode is the fastest of all other modes. Air transport enables a country to achieve its economic development and growth. It brings together economies of the different country and helps in the integration of the international trade and the commerce. There are advanced and special preparation required in order to transport goods via air. Aircraft with the advanced technology are used for carrying expensive goods. Moreover, there is no extra investment needed to construct tracks such as on roads, railway, and the water. The biggest advantage of using air as a mode of the transport is that it can be used in places where it is difficult to reach. During natural calamity like floods and earthquakes, airways are the only mode which remains unaffected and can be used in emergency. This is the reason why it is used at the times of the natural calamity to provide victims with food, medicine, also by moving people to unaffected area of the land. The clearance time for goods moving by air is very less. Also, the custom formality are done quickly as compared to other modes. The biggest support which air transport provides to a country is at the time of the defense. It is used during wars to destroy the enemy. Air transport has also helped country in exploring space. It helps in carrying satellite and people and provide valuable space information. Sea transport. Transport by sea involves transporting goods and people through water mode, such as the ships, boats, barrage, and sailboats over the water body from one place to another. There are ports built near seas and ocean in different cities where goods from different places are loaded and unloaded at the different port of the different city. Sea transport is best suited for the transporting goods which are non-perishable. Goods are also referred as a cargo. The mode of the transport is less costly as compared to air and is also the largest carrier of the freight in the whole world. This mode of the transport is used by the people who are involved in receiving goods from the distant suppliers. There are containers of the different sizes which are used to carry goods via sea, which also involves movement of the loose product such as grains. There are different sizes of containers which are used to transport different types of the products in order to keep it safe from the weather condition. There are different services provided by sea transport. They are the to move goods to and fro seaports. To transport FCL full container load, which includes containers of 20 to 40 feet sizes and refrigerators, etc. To transport LCL less than container load, which involves transportation of the goods of the different clients in a single container. To achieve important and relevant documents, to provide customs and brokerage services, to provide cargo delivery, which also include door-to-door services. Multimodal transport, as the name itself suggests, a multimodal transport involves transport using more than one means. A combination of different modes of the transport is also known as the multimodal transport. This mode of the transport is basically used to facilitate the movement of the goods and people from one place to another in most efficient and the fastest way. Organization use these modes of transport because delivering goods from one place to another is not possible by using single mode. Therefore, organization use a combination of the different modes which facilitates each other and delivers the goods of the destined place. Trucks, ships, trains, and airplanes, all of these are used in order to transport goods. This mode is beneficial only when an effective combination of mode is used. While making a combination, modes should be taken together in a way which optimizes the overall cost and delivers the goods on a timely basis, meeting the deadlines. Despite the effective combination, this mode of the transport may incur huge cost in the relation to charges such as a freight handling. However, some organizations hire their own freight forwarding company, which helps them in reducing such costs by providing an interface between the different modes of the transport. There are the various advantages of this transport. They are all the responsibility of the transport are centralized in a single transport operator. International experiences are used both in the transportation and in commerce. Economies of scale, innovation of transport by way of using better infrastructures and modes of the transport, which reduces the overall cost of the transportation and reduces indirect cost. Self-assessment questions. FCL, full container load transportation, which include containers of the 20 to 40 feet sizes, refrigerator, etc., is a part of the air transport. This is the true or false. Door-to-door service is an advantage provided by the which service. Factors influencing the transportation. Unless and until there are adequate facility available, movement of the goods by means of the road, rail, sea, or air will not be successful. The goods are required to move from one place to another in the most efficient way. There are various factors which influence and affect transportation in logistics. The construction, production, and dispatches are affected by the following factors. Terminal facility. Terminal facility means all of the required land, infrastructure, and equipment which are very important for operation in a warehouse. They are all used for the accommodation of the transport as a storage place as well as for transport facility of those products. These facilities are not provided to an organization easily. One of the reasons for this is that any sort of the inconvenience caused to the truck drivers and operators affect the carrier and not the goods and the project. It is a loss for the carriers. Thus, the storage space of the produced goods must be adequate because if there is no space available to store any further produced goods, the production gets hampered. For each kind of the goods, there is a different transport facility available in the relation to the requirement of those products. There are different requirements of transport facility depending upon the availability, location, and the type of the product. There must be different terminal facility or different kinds of the products. While planning for the terminal facility, things such as loading and unloading lines, storage space, availability of the constructed road and railways should also be considered. Not only planning, but the maintenance of these facilities must also kept in mind because it is very essential for transportation. The overall cost of the transport includes the expenditure incurred in various other terminal facilities. For the movement of the products by rail and loading lines must be planned for in advance. The way lines are configured is more important than its length because an easy movement of the goods through connected lines is essential. Vehicles. One of the most important things to be kept in mind is the use of the specific type of vehicle for the transport of the goods. There are different kinds of the goods and commodity which are transported from one place to the another, different in sizes, volume, nature, etc. Considering all these things in the mind, different vehicles need to be used depending upon specific product types in case of the transport of goods by the sea. The capacity of the ship to carry the loads, the speed at which it will move needs to be examined. Similarly, in case of the delivery of the goods by roads, rail and air, the size of the vehicle and the type of the goods which can be transported will be examined. Fuel cost. Fuel cost plays a vital role in the transport industry. As and when the price of the fuel comes down, the transport price also goes down and vice versa. This indirectly benefits customers as well. Government regulation. There is a direct impact of the government regulation in the transport industry. Government may be fairly specific hours of driving for the commercial operator. They may be set certain rules and regulations which directly affect the charges of freight while carrying goods from one place to another. Transit time. The distance between the storage space or the warehouse to that of the customer or the supplier determines the time in which the goods can be reached to the one who most needed. In general practice, this transit time is not given any attention, and this at times leads to the higher overall transportation cost. If there is a need for the cutting down the transit time, organizations switch to air transport. However, the lower transit time in real practice does not validate the use of the air as a mode of the transport. Some of the most important projects suffer a loss if raw material and equipment do not reach on time because it leads to the delay in their production activity. Choosing a mode of transport which is able to deliver goods on time is very important. The schedules for the construction are pre-decided. Along with this, the order numbers and the processing time for those orders are also pre-decided. The only thing which is often ignored is the transit time of the goods. Lack of proper planning on delivering goods on time leads to the huge losses for the business. Routes and sectional capacity. There are various routes through which the goods are moved in order to reach their customers. The ability of these routes and their capacity to carry the same amount of the merchandise from the starting point to the point of consumption is very important. It happens in all organizations where the decision maker assumes that there is enough number of the routes and sectional capacity available for the goods. Also, there are different speeds and volume of carrying goods and rules assigned to the different routes of the roads, air, and water. These minor but important aspects are ignored by the organization, which affects the time of delivery of the merchandise. This is known as the sectional capacity of the different routes. There are a number of the routes available for the movement of goods, and to these routes, there are a maximum number of the moving vehicles assigned at a given point of the time, keeping in mind the ability of the terminal facility. Distribution pattern. The pattern of the distribution of different type of the goods is another important factor, thus influences the transportation. Movement of the goods take place at different stages of production, from the raw material supplied to the organization by the supplier to the delivery of the finished good to the actual customer. Some goods directly reach the customers from the warehouse, while some are distributed to the wholesaler, retailer, and then to the final consumer. These different patterns of the distribution demand proper transport facility or planning. Moreover, there are goods which are meant to be sold within the country itself, and then there are goods which need to be exported to different country. The overall national and international trade of a nation involves different distribution pattern. Detailed information regarding the type of the good to be transported, the place where it needs to be transported, and other important information should be provided to carrier services so that they can be adequately plan the movement of the goods in the entire range. Nature of the product. The most valuable aspect of the movement of goods is the nature of products that are being moved from one place to another. This aspect demands very sophisticated planning so as to deliver goods as undamaged to their customers. The type of the containers to be used, the way the products needs to be packaged, the time in which the product should reach the consumer, all should be kept in the mind. Some goods are perishable and some are non-perishable, and they should be transported accordingly. Some goods require a special handling and should be packed accordingly. These are some of the most important factors affecting the transportation. Self-assessment. As and when the price of the fuel comes down, the transport price also goes down and vice versa. True and false. Means all of the required land, infrastructure and equipment which are very important for operation in a warehouse. Documents used in the transportation. The documents used in the transportation are proofs and contracts which validate the movement of the goods from one place to another. Documents are part of the proofs that provide details of the quantity, time and nature of the delivery. The different documents which are used in the transportation are the bill of the lading. A bill of lading is a contract which stands as a proof that it is the carrier's responsibility of the loading of the goods for delivery. This document contains all the relevant details regarding the goods which are being transported, the details and the name of the ship which are used, and the details of the port to which it will be delivered. The document provides the right to the carrier to take goods from one place to the and deliver it to the specified customer at some other place. Any damage, theft, or the loss of good in between is the responsibility of the carrier. It is the carrier's responsibility of delivering of the goods only to those customers who possess the bill of lading at the point of the receiving the goods. He cannot provide the goods to the anybody else without this document. This document can be transferred by way of endorsement. Consignment note. A consignment note is a document that certifies that a particular carrier will be responsible for carrying goods. This document requires a valid signature of the carrier. This consignment note must be created with respect to the form established by the Convention on the Contract for the International Carriage of Goods by the Road. Sea-way bill. A sea-way bill is a document that only shows the receipt of the goods. It is signed by the person who are responsible for transporting goods by the seaport. The details mentioned in this document are the name of the person who is carrying the goods, the name of the person who initiated the transport, the name of the port from where the goods have been shipped, the name of the port where the goods will be disembarked, and the name of the recipient who will be receiving the goods at the destination. This document is non-transferable when compared to the bill of lading, which can be transferred. Airway bill. An airway bill is a document that serves as a proof of the contract of the carrier. This document establishes the responsibility of the carrier to carry goods from one place to another by air. This document also explicitly mentions the prices. It clearly states the goods will be effectively transported once they enter the flight. This document is standardized by the International Air Transportation Association (IATA). Rail consignment note. The rail consignment note is also referred to as the International Consignment Note. This document is a proof which specifies that a particular rail carriage is responsible for taking the contract of the delivering goods. This is again a non-transferable document. Delivery order. A delivery order is a document which states that a particular goods carrier has been ordered and the responsibility of the delivery of goods is accepted. The owner of the carrier allows the release of the goods from one place by signing a contract or a document which is known as the delivery order. Dock receipt. A dock receipt is a document which states that the goods have been received by the carrier. The forms of the proof of the goods being ready for the shipment. The document specifies the responsibility of the goods having been transferred by the shipper to the carrier. This document is used as a proof in preparing a bill of the lading. Shipping guarantee. A shipping guarantee is a document that is provided by the banks in writing, starting the safety of the goods as a joint responsibility of the importer and the carrier. The importer is responsible in transferring this note to the carrier of the goods. Packing note or the list. A packing note is nothing but a detailed invoice that is attached to the goods. This note provides information regarding transportation details such as the mode, the origin, the destination, the details of the carrier, the date of the transport, expected date of the delivery, etc. Except for the price of the goods, all other details are mentioned in this note. A copy of this note is shared with the receiver of the goods so that he can check and compare the details with the actual delivery. Proof of delivery. A proof of delivery is a document which states that the goods have been received by the customer. The documents after receiving the goods are required to sign this document after going through all the details of the invoice, the packing note, and the comparing it with the actual goods, whether he is satisfied with the delivery or not. This document states the same. This is the self-assessment question is given, and the summary is given here, and the keywords are given there, and case study about the kite sealing cargo, that is given there. When Calvin Harris was 16-year-old, he was inspired by the concept that the kite sailing was used by the power of the wind to move in the new ways. This is the case study of the kite sailing cargo. Problem is given, and the solution is given, and the result is given.